More certainly on the way. Now, make a complete shift to the other end of the soccer spectrum, and you have the story at St. John's, where the controversy there is over what the men's team is wearing and exactly why. Jeremy Schapp reports.
At the intersection of commerce, religion, and sport, 28-year-old Jim Keady has caused a massive pileup.
I went to St. John's to coach and to study theology. I didn't go there to be an advertisement for the Nike Corporation.
In 1997 and 98, while he was studying for a master's degree in theology at St. John's, Keady was a graduate assistant coach with the university's men's soccer team, at the time the defending national champions. For one of his courses, Keady wrote a research paper on Nike's use of cheap overseas labor. When Nike then signed an exclusive equipment deal with St. John's, requiring all Red Storm athletes and coaches to wear the Nike swoosh, Keady, a devout Catholic, protested.
My conscience wouldn't allow me to represent a company that's been one of the grossest violators of workers' rights. Throughout the body of Catholic social teaching, there's a consistent call to opt for the poor. It's called the preferential option for the poor. We're supposed to side with the poor and the oppressed. St. John's is siding with Nike.
Under what he says was intense pressure, Keady resigned his coaching position in the spring of '98. 2 weeks ago, he filed an $11 million lawsuit against St. John's and Nike, alleging they had violated his civil and religious rights by forcing him to wear the Nike symbol or quit.
I was told that if I wanted to continue on as a graduate assistant coach the next year, I needed to wear Nike and drop this issue publicly or resign.
Both St. John's and Nike say Keady's lawsuit is baseless and are hoping to have it dismissed.
We find it be completely without merit, and will defend ourselves vigorously in this particular action.
Keady's has not been a lone voice in the wilderness, not even here at St. John's. Father Paul Surlis, the professor whose class Keady was taking when he wrote his research paper, has been outspokenly anti-Nike and approves of his former students' actions.
Catholic social teaching since 1891 has laid down that workers have a right to a just wage, they have a right to form unions, they have a right to strike. These three rights have been denied them.
John Wilcox is the chairman of the Religious Studies Department at Manhattan College. Like St. John's, a Catholic institution.
St. John's is in a position of Division I athletics and basketball. It has an opportunity to make a great deal of money from sponsorship contracts. But St. John's also talks about its Catholic identity. Part of that Catholic identity is to be committed to issues of social justice.
Officials at St. John's argue they are committed to the tenets of Catholic social teaching, and that their relationship with Nike will, in fact, further that commitment.
We face really two choices. On the one hand, do we walk away from the Nike Corporation, or do we choose the path of really entering into a process where do we see we can effect change for workers overseas and in the communities in which they live?
We believe that we have met our obligations. We've disclosed factory locations where college apparel is being produced. We have raised wages for footwear workers, not only in Indonesia, but in other parts of the world. We have also made other reforms in terms of air quality.
Keady insists that working conditions at the independent factories Nike outsources have improved marginally at best, and certainly not enough to justify St. John's partnership with Nike.
Maybe I'm an idealist. I expected St. John's to do the right thing, and I think the right thing is to take a radical position. And if that radical position means you give up $3.5 million to make a public statement that workers' rights are more important than an apparel company and your relationship with that apparel company, so be it.
Keady says if he wins the lawsuit, he will use whatever money he is awarded to establish a foundation to fight sweatshops around the world. Mike?